and Pumbaa, can you guys help me explain some vocabulary words today? I think it's right up y'all's alley.
No problem. Why don't you help him, Timon?
Okay, what is it you need to learn?
Well, the first word is called food chain. Can you help me explain to them what a food chain is?
Sure. A food chain is a representation of a transfer of energy from one organism to the other.
What? What are you talking about? Like, you're talking so fancy.
Basically, it just shows you how one thing eats the other. Except for the producers, the plants. They make their own food.
Oh, what are the arrows? I see that they have arrows in the food chain. What do those arrows mean?
Well, that's the energy going up from one organism to the other. So, for example, a plant makes its own food from the sun. Then you'll have an arrow from the plant to the bug. Then you'll have an arrow from the bug to me, and I eat the bug. So each time something is getting energy.
Wow, that's cool.
Sure is. That's called a food chain. You probably learned that in elementary school, didn't you guys?
I guess they did. All right, Pumbaa, so what's a food web?
A food web is a bunch of food chains put together because animals eat more than one thing.
Oh, okay, I get it. So it's kind of like how Simba eats zebras, but he could also eat you and Timon?
We don't want to talk about that.
Okay. A trophic level.
Well, that's when you group organisms according to how they get their energy.
What do you mean?
For example, I sometimes eat plants, so I would be in the second trophic level, primary consumer. Or I sometimes eat bugs that eat the plants, so that would put me in the third level, secondary consumer.
Oh, and what's on the first level?
Plants.
Okay, so trophic level is you're putting them according to how they get their energy.
That's right.
Tell me about the 10% rule. That's the next term there.
Well, the 10% rule is only 10% of the energy gets passed on. 90% of the energy is released as heat.
So if I was to eat you, only 10% of the energy that's in you would come to me?
That's right. But again, we don't want to be talking about eating me.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to start nothing with me, buddy.
No, I don't.
The next word is herbivore. Herbivore is an animal that eats plants.
Oh, like a zebra or a giraffe?
That's right.
Okay, so that's a herbivore. Where in the trophic levels would the herbivores lie?
They're going to be in the primary consumer level.
Oh, okay. So that would be like the second trophic level?
Yes, second trophic level is primary consumers. We said that earlier.
Okay, man. What's a carnivore?
A carnivore is a meat eater. Like Simba. Simba was a carnivore. His dad, Mufasa, was a carnivore. Scar was a carnivore. Carnivores.
Yeah. What about you? Are you a carnivore?
Sometimes.
Are you ever a herbivore?
Sometimes.
Why are you sometimes a carnivore and sometimes a herbivore?
Because I'm what you call an omnivore. I eat both plants and animals. So sometimes I'll be on the second trophic level when I eat plants. And sometimes I'll be on the third or higher trophic level when I eat animals. So that makes me an omnivore. I eat both plants and animals.
So what's a producer?
A producer is also known as an autotroph. They make their own food through photosynthesis or chemosynthesis.
Oh, so like a plant would be a producer?
That's right.
And bacteria is deep in the ocean, in the hydrothermal vents? doing chemosynthesis?
Those would also be producers.
Cool. What's another word for producer again?
Autotroph.
Oh, okay. So autotrophs and producers. What trophic level would they be in?
They'd be in the first trophic level. Again, autotrophs or producers make their own food. They'll be in the first trophic level.
Well, what's a heterotroph?
It could be consumers or it could be decomposers. They get their energy from an outside source.
So anything that's not a producer or an autotroph would be a heterotroph?
That's right.
So you'd be a heterotroph.
That's right.
Timon would be a heterotroph.
That's right. Anything that does not make its own food. If it's not a plant or a chemosynthetic bacteria, it would be a heterotroph.
What about a mushroom?
Heterotroph.
What about consumers?
They eat.
Anything else?
Nope.
So consumers just eat.
Yep.
Okay. Composers.
Decomposers. That's like fungi. They absorb from dead organisms.
Oh, so like if when Mufasa dies, like when Mufasa talked about dying and going back to the grass, he's talking about the decomposers.
That's right. When you die, decomposers, they'll take care of your body. They'll absorb your energy.
Wow, that's cool. So decomposers don't eat.
Nope, they absorb. Like a mushroom.
Detrivores.
Detritivores are organisms that eat dead organisms. So they're eating, they're not absorbing, they're eating. Makes them different than decomposers.
So what's an example of a detrivore?
The hyenas.
Oh, because they would eat the dead elephants when they would die, right?
That's right.
Oh, is there any other kind of detrivores that you could think of?
Well, when we came upon Simba, he had a bunch of detrivores around him. They thought he was dead.
Oh, the buzzards that were flying around him when you guys found them.
That's right. Because I love going bowling for buzzards. Remember that? I could have said bowling for detrivores.
That doesn't have the same ring.
No, it doesn't.